And welcome back to Hot and Cold Podcast. Look, today is Tuesday, March 8th. We're rounding into the best time of the year. I know that I say this in every intro, but we're actually here. There are teams with bids to the NCAA tournament. It is actually here, and I cannot wait to get started. All right. So before we get into anything, before I even introduce who's with me today, I want to shout out Longwood, Loyola Chicago, Murray State, in Chattanooga, in Georgia State, for all getting into the NCAA tournament. Those are the first teams that are officially in the bracket. So shout out to those schools. Chattanooga won on a freaking amazing buzzer beater last night. It was awesome. And look, I'm ready. I know Connor's ready, but Connor, how are we doing today?
You know, you would think that I'm in a terrible mood just because, another loss for Indiana, but I'm actually I'm in a good mood. I've accepted the fact that they played actually really well. We'll probably touch on a little bit later, but I think it actually might have helped them, the fact they played so well.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, what are you gonna do? You're playing at Mackey. But a thing that I want to bring up just real quick, and it's because I looked bad early on, because way back at the beginning, my Final Four predictions, I had a team in there that really, really looked bad about 2 months into the season. And was it kind of for a bit? Yes, because, we had this back and forth on the team, but I just thought they could do it. It's the Memphis Tigers. They're back, and they're scary. Penny Hardaway can coach. This team has top 10 talent, and I think they could make a run. They're that scary team that nobody wants to play again. Just thought I'd throw that out there. That was the segment that I thought would upset you a little bit.
You have to put into context, what are you saying? Are you saying they're back to what you thought they were? Are you saying they're a Final Four contender? Are you back on this bit?
No.
Are we doing this bit again?
Contender.
Okay.
But
then I can agree. Yes, I can agree with you. Look, I sold high on Memphis before the season even started. If Memphis was a stock, I sold high on Memphis early. Yeah. And I said, this team is not making the tournament. They jumped all over my take. They stomped on it. They did all this with this late season run out of nowhere, which really hurt my feelings. But I was almost right. I was almost right, which was crazy. Which is crazy, as they were, a top 10 team preseason, and that usually doesn't happen. But my theory still holds true that I said in January, something like that, where I said the teams that, they start off highly ranked and they drop off the rankings off a cliff. Those are the teams you got to watch out for. And I mentioned Arkansas, I mentioned Memphis, and I mentioned Oregon. Oregon is probably the worst out of those. Oregon probably is not going to make the tournament, but we're going to do bracket previews for the conference tournament. And I'm not saying they're done, because I think the Pac-12 is about as wide open as any conference bracket can get. But yeah, no, I agree. I think Memphis is solidly in right now. I think they may present a matchup problem depending on who that 6-5 seed is, depending on what seed they get. And it'll be interesting. Memphis is a weird team on how to seed them, because they have some good wins. They also have some terrible losses, and that you can say about any team on the bubble right now. But I know you thought I would get mad. I was only going to get mad if you said that they're going to be a Final Four contender or something like that.
Let me ask you this, though. The whole Amoni thing was a complete and utter disaster.
Right.
And
which was so easy to predict.
Yes, but it's funny because they bring in two guys really late in the year, Duran and Amoni Bates, and one of them has totally worked, I think, and has been totally fine.
He's been fine.
And it's clear that you can't bring in a guy like Amoni that late. A guy like Duran, it's probably going to be fine. It'll work out just because he's a big
Yeah.
and rebounding, dunking, running the floor. I mean, that's the scoring aspect, and there's levels to it from being an 18-year-old playing in college and only being able to really score. That's kind of a hard transition. But where is Memphis at if they never have a Money? And it's just this team that we've seen lately. Then where I think that's a fair question, because they're probably they probably run through the American, right? Like everybody probably thought.
Well, that was my whole point preseason, is how cocky Penny Hardaway is and how many liberties he took with this team. He set him up for failure. And that was my entire point. Like, if they didn't bring in Ammonian, I'd have a completely different opinion. But they brought in this guy who is very cocky, who thinks he's in the NBA already. By the way, his draft stock is like not even existent at this point.
I don't even know where is he?
Exactly. And look, it did nothing good for the team. It did nothing good for Amoni Bates. And I think that was my criticism on Penny Hardaway. Look, Jalen Duren, everybody knew he was joining college, and everybody knew he would succeed wherever he went. I don't think he's succeeded as much as everybody thought he would. Like, I'm not saying he's a bad player. I'm just saying he's only averaging like 11 points, whatever. And because look, we went through that roster preseason. They have a lot of veterans. Landers Nolly, Lester Quinones, like that. Those are two vets that they have, and a couple of them on the team that transferred in, they have tournament experience. Like, I'm not saying that this team was so inexperienced and that's the reason. I'm just saying, when you are focusing on a guy like Amoni Bates, you're setting the rest of the team up for failure. Because I knew as soon as he came in, I knew Penny Hardaway was going to run the offense through him. He did the Amoni Bates at point guard experiment, which worked out hilariously bad. And so that was my criticism on him. Like, yeah, if they just brought in Duren, this team would be fine. And I think you're seeing it.
They're probably top 4 or 5 in a region, I would think.
Oh, and
I think they're
I
probably
thought you meant in
20.
America. I thought you meant in America. And I was like, yeah, they're a top 20 team. Yeah, definitely.
I think you're gonna. I don't know if you'll agree with it or not, but they give me UCLA vibes from last year a little bit, just because they've come together, and I think, like you saw with UCLA, and like you've seen even this year, UCLA is very up and down. And I think last year is definitely a case of they caught lightning in a bottle and they ran with it and they made a run. I don't think they make a run this year. I just don't think that their team is built for it, unless they, again, Johnny Juzang has to become an all-world player and probably have 20, 25 points a game, and I just don't see it happening. I think Memphis is the same way. I don't think it's necessarily going to come from one player, but I watched that Houston game. They suffocated them.
Yeah.
And yes, Houston is a down team, by the way. Arguably the easiest 5-12, 4-13
Very worried
upset
about Houston.
Pick.
Very worried about Houston. Very worried about them. But they're not the same team as they were last year.
No, and I don't know. Memphis has the talent, and UCLA made that run out of the play, and I don't know where Memphis is going to be. I think they're probably out of the play at probably this point, because
they may be. I said 11 or 12. They're probably a 10 seed at this point.
Yeah,
yeah.
It could be even higher, depending on their conference tournament, which I would pick them to win that. I don't know if we're going to go through that one, but
no, I didn't make a graphic. I didn't make a graphic for them, but I mean, we can have that conversation. Like, I think
hope they win it. I hope SMU doesn't win
it. For you. Yeah. I think that tournament's up in the air too, because look, Houston's been dominating the whole year, and now they're this. Like, if I had to pick a team, it wasn't Houston or Memphis, I would probably pick Cincinnati. You know, that's a team that could definitely win that conference. That is a bid stealing conference. Them in the A10, you have to look out for if your team is on the bubble. Because, look, if Davidson doesn't win the A10, Davidson's getting in. And whether you like it or not, they're getting in, and whoever wins the tournament is getting in as well.
Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting. I have one segment I want to do before we get in. I don't even want, like, we're so far along. Like, it's Tuesday. The games happened Saturday, but I feel like that was 3 years ago. There's one segment I have to get to, and I'd be remiss if I didn't. Coach K's farewell tour.
Oh
maybe the best thing I've ever seen on television. We made fun of the mega cast, as we should. They were fans are camping out there for like 3 months before whatever. And ESPN was
Did you see
covering
they had to
it for
fill
the whole
out
week.
like forms to see if they qualified? And
Love it.
like it was nuts. Like you had to keep 2 people in the tent at all times. 6 people had to be in the tent at night, like during the week. Just ridiculous. Like it is unbelievable.
I love that. I love every bit of it. Look, every single one of Coach K's former players was there. They were all wearing the Coach K shirt that said brotherhood on it. Maybe it looked like a cult when like, if you watch the game, everybody wearing that same zip up. Like, it wasn't just like a shirt out. They were all wearing this like expensive quarter zip. It looked like a cult is what it looked like. And maybe the best possible outcome could have happened. The best possible outcome would have been UNC winning on like a buzzer beater at the end. But second best was them blowing them out. And that's exactly what happened. A bad UNC team walked in the Cameron Indoor and blew them out. They beat them by 13. And the fact that the ceremony for Coach K happened directly after that, maybe the best piece of television there could have been. It was perfect. It was a perfect end to a great day of college basketball. It wasn't really the ending, but it was the perfect wrap up on a good day of college basketball that you could have asked for. And thank you, Coach K, for giving us that. It was amazing. He's the most greatest coach of all time. I'm not just gonna sit here as a Duke hater and say that, but he is the biggest egomaniac on planet Earth. Coaches don't really do farewell tours. That players do farewell tours. Kobe did a farewell tour. Coaches don't. Roy Williams kind of just walked off into the sunset. Look, I know Bobby Knight with the IU stuff, like it ended badly, but he just walked out into the sunset. I don't know what Cal's going to do, whatever, but Coach K doing that farewell tour was one of the most embarrassing things you've ever seen. And then the handshake line after,
I didn't even shake hand. I mean, just bad. Look, you bring up Bobby Knight. I think it would have happened a little bit differently had he, not gotten fired. But it's one thing to have a ceremony for your last home game. It's another thing to expect every single opponent to basically honor you before. Like, that would not have happened with Bobby Knight. Like, you think Bobby Knight would have wanted that? Absolutely not.
It's insane. Why would they honor you? Like, Pitt was
know.
like the only one that did, and it's because Capel was the coach.
Well, no, Virginia did too.
Did Virginia as well? Okay.
Virginia got him like this lame. nice plaque or something like that. And there was an article that came out that Coach K was upset that North Carolina, of all places, didn't honor him. It's like, well, that's like Purdue honoring Bobby Knight or vice versa, like Indiana honoring
Louisville honoring John Calipari. Yeah.
Like it's just asinine to even think that would happen. And I just, it was such ridiculous. And it's also just further proves the point. Like senior day speeches that happened after the game. I think it's
what about the seniors? What about the seniors at Duke? Theo John, Joey Baker. They did not get a ceremony because their egomaniac coach had his whole ordeal. But go on. Yes, go on.
It's like having these ceremonies after the fact is so dumb because, I mean, first off, Coach K clearly didn't want to even do the ceremony after the game because they lost.
He told them to shut up. He told the crowd to shut up.
Do you think like Race Thompson wanted to give a speech to the empty assembly hall after they lose on a buzzer beater? Basically, it's like it's the dumbest thing in the world. There's got to be a better way to do it.
Yeah.
Like it's hard to plan. Like
you got to do it before the game. You have to.
Before the game, I don't even know if it has to be on the last game. Just make senior day a senior. Just make it. Why does it have to be the last game? Make it during one of the cupcake games. I don't know. Coach K is a little bit different, obviously, because it's his last game, like coaching at Duke ever.
It's not even his last game, though.
But it's not even his last game. It's just, I don't know. It's all dumb. I think it's all stupid.
Look, if Duke would have won, I probably would have made fun of them, but not to this extent. Like that was, I don't think anything has ever been covered like that has been covered. Like that was insane. And it showed, like, ESPN showed their media bias towards Duke in a way that was just unbelievably, like, you can't deny it. Like they showed so much bias. Like if you were to turn on ESPN throughout any point of the day, you'd have no idea who Duke was playing. You'd have no idea who Duke was. They didn't even mention UNC. They didn't even think that was a possibility that they could win. And now it happened, and now everybody's like, wow, I can't believe, like, I wish there was a way, and maybe there is, and I haven't seen it just to see like the ratings, like to that, they're just throughout the day, and how it fluctuated, and oh my gosh, I just want to see that. Then maybe when UNC was up, I want to see how much it spiked because that's what everybody tuned in.
I have one question on this. Is there going to be any other coach that gets anything close to this? And I'm curious, is any coach going to, like,
in any sport?
No, just college basketball, I guess. But like, do you think what's Calipari going to do? Like, I'll be honest. Cal's a little bit of an ego guy too.
Definitely.
And I think he would enjoy a farewell tour. And here's the thing, though. I don't think he'll ask for it. He will embrace it if other teams do it. He will be okay with it. But he's not going to demand it, which makes it so much better.
Cal is like, he, as much as an egomaniac as he is, he's a competitor. Like Coach K, I guess, did he want everybody to be his friend in that last year? That was weird. Like he's the enemy. Weird. He's the public enemy number one. Look, Cal, here's how I think Cal's going to retire, and I could be wrong. I think Cal is just, he's so like snap making decisions. Like he's kind of a spaz. Like that's just how he makes decisions. He's kind of all over the place, whatever. I think 1 year after the season's over, he's just going to be like, yeah, I'm done. Like, see y'all.
Yeah,
I'm done.
I don't think he's going to like,
maybe there is.
This is it.
Yeah.
And he might let people know close to him. Like, but I don't know. Like Jim Boeheim, who has not done anything really in a while, but is one of the greatest coaches of all time.
Yeah.
And literally has like built Syracuse kind of similar to what Coach K has done. I mean, he's been there forever.
If he wouldn't have struggled in these last, 10 years, he would be like, not success-wise, but it would be very similar to what Duke has done and how he's been the only coach throughout their tenure.
He's going to get nothing.
People want him out. Close. People want him.
People want him fired. Like that's crazy.
That's
shout out to Blake. Yeah, I mean Syracuse is a dumpster fire, but
like Izzo, you think Izzo would do that?
He's going to be another one, yeah. Which he hasn't been there as long. Like I don't think it's. I mean, it's not like 40 years, but
he's been there a long time though. He's been there a long time still. Yeah.
I don't. It's going to be interesting. I really the Bobby Knight one is really the only comparison that you can make to Coach K because he won like multiple over a time period. But
no, yeah, definitely, yeah.
And I don't know what would have happened. Indiana definitely would have done something, but again, he wouldn't even have wanted that.
No, he would have been like,
Bobby
what
Knight
the, what
does
the?
like he wouldn't have been able to handle himself, especially by the end. Like he would have been mother effing like the crowd, like what Coach K did, telling him to shut up. He would have been
Oh
like,
my!
it would have been so vulgar. It would have
If
been
it
Indiana
was
probably
a
wouldn't even have done it. It would have been a
if it was
public
a 20-point
nightmare.
loss to Purdue, like, all right, yeah, let's. I mean, then
The
we'll get
last
to the
game of the
brackets.
year.
Yeah, last game of the year, 13-point loss to Purdue at home. Let's say it's like flipped, UNC Duke,
Yeah.
whatever, and then he has to address the crowd. And what year was that?
God.
Like early 2000s, like maybe late 90s. I don't even remember what year that
It would have
been
been like which he might have been coaching longer. He coached to like,
yeah. Say he
was
didn't get
yeah.
fired, like yeah, and he had
He
to
would have
address
thrown a
the
chair
crowd.
at somebody.
And they were all making noise like they were at Coach K. Like, what the? Like that would have been the funniest thing you've ever seen. No, I would pay for that now.
It's sad. It sucks. Sucks that didn't happen.
Yeah. But I mean, I guess shout out Coach. Like you can't even congratulate him anymore. Like because of how embarrassing and how it as a Kentucky fan, it was very fun to watch. It was very fun to watch. And look, Duke is everybody's enemy. So I think everybody was kind of in unison on that, but very, very, very funny. Okay, let's get into these tournaments. First, I want to start off in Indianapolis. I'm putting up these brackets. We're not going through each and every game. That would be absolutely way too time consuming, but we will get through kind of the important games into the semifinals, whatever. And but yeah, I want to start off in Indianapolis at the Big Ten tournament. So Connor, I think the first game we have to open on is Indiana versus Michigan. Indiana wins, they're in. Indiana doesn't win. Look, we've been moving the goalposts. We've said like you have to win this game and you're in. Loss. Well, you can win this game and you're lost. Oh yeah, like we have been, and I think that's what the bubble is. Like the bubble is not ever constant, it's always changing. So your thoughts on the game that we will be at?
Just saw that Dickinson will play, or is expected to play, which is not good, but in a way, not sure how that's going to go. Michigan, like, totally. But shout out to Phil Martelli. I don't know if he's like their associate head coach, assistant. I don't know what he is. I really like that dude. I don't know if you like. I listened to some of the post game stuff.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
Is he
better than Juwan Howard?
I like them more right now with him than Juwan Howard.
He's awesome. Like, and I am a Juwan Howard, like, I don't know, believer, truther, but he's great. Yeah. And the way that he handled this whole situation is really impressive. But they basically went small ball against Ohio State and it worked. Now they're going to like flip back to their old ways. I think that could cause some issues. And maybe they don't get off to that hot start they did the first time, but I don't know, man. It's such a bad matchup. Like this is the one team, like even the Illinois game against
this
Indiana.
Was the one you wanted. Yeah, this is the one you wanted to avoid, wasn't it?
Like even the Illinois, like Indiana was winning in the first half for basically the entire first half. Michigan from the jump just flat out kicked their ass. And it's going to be a really tough. Trey Galloway is probably going to be out. So
what is his injury? He's been out for a long time.
It's just lower body injury.
Oh, they haven't specified.
Indiana is very, very
no, Kentucky's kind of the same way. They're tight-lipped.
Secretive. But I don't know, man. I don't even Michigan's probably gonna win. Like I don't have any faith that they win this.
Well, look, we'll be there.
Another reason I think Michigan wins.
Yeah, this is very Rutgers-esque. Yeah. I don't know. I think it could be a good game, depending whether or not obviously Dickinson even plays, how he plays. Remember in that first matchup, the reason Michigan won by however many they did was because Caleb Houston shot the lights out. So if he can if he does that again. Yeah. Devontae Jones, is he going to play?
Yes, I think so.
Okay. I thought
Why wouldn't he?
I thought he got hurt.
Oh,
maybe
he played really well their
Maybe
last game too.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I will say the shot like quality chart thing can kind of predict who wins a game.
Mm-hmm.
And if you go back to that game, Indiana wins that game 9 times out of 10 based on the shot chart, the quality of shots that they got, which is again the most IU thing ever.
Well, don't they have like the most open threes in the Big Ten or something like that?
They're
Like top 5 in the
country.
country. Yeah.
But anyway, like Michigan was on that day, and it's nothing you can really do about it. But I don't know. Dickinson has always been a problem, and we'll see how they handle it. I think Michigan's probably going to win. Mm-hmm. But if Indiana does win, I don't think it guarantees him a tournament spot. Either way, I know that's kind of been the narrative, but I don't know. We'll see. I think it'll be close this time, though.
Okay, let's move on Nebraska because Nebraska is so hot. So I'm just going to assume they'll beat Northwestern because I think they have the better shot against Iowa. Any chance Nebraska wins that? And then we'll get to the quarterfinals. Okay. Nebraska's been hot. Shout out the Cornhuskers, though. It's Hoiberg, isn't it? Yeah.
You see what he did to Underwood?
The wine thing? Yeah.
Yeah, that's so funny.
But yeah, they really helped out Illinois. Speaking of Illinois, let's get to the quarterfinals. Illinois, Michigan. Look, Michigan's good. They're not going to beat Illinois.
No. They're going to be in anyway, probably, if they beat Indiana. There's not much to play for at that point. I think that they'll probably run out of gas. It'll be like one of those games that's close early on, and Illinois probably pulls away.
Rutgers, Iowa will be a fantastic game because I think Iowa wins. I think Iowa's a better team. The seeding's all screwed up in the Big Ten, so it does kind of change everybody's opinion on everybody. But Iowa's really good. They have a National Player of the Year candidate. I think they beat Rutgers, and they beat them pretty handily. But that's kind of my opinion on it. You got the same?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree.
Michigan State, Wisconsin. Johnny Davis. I know he got hurt, but is he going to play? Because we talked about it. They may punt on this tournament because they
hope he can.
Yeah.
It's not a done deal. They almost made it sound like they'll err on the side of caution and probably won't play him.
I don't know why they would.
Like 100%. I don't think they do. Honestly, I think Michigan State wins.
Mm-hmm.
Just because, like you said, what do they have to play for? Like, just get to the tournament at this point. Like, there's no reason to bring Johnny Davis back.
You're going to be a low 2 or a high 3 no matter what. No matter what.
I mean, like, it's not even, what are they? Are they like a 12? I don't know what they are in the AP poll.
I don't know. I don't even pay attention to the AP poll anymore. Like, this is the time of year you throw the AP poll out the window. Yeah.
I mean, they're 12, so they're borderline a 3 seed, like bottom 3, almost a 4.
Yeah. I think they'll still be a 3. They were a 2 for a while, but Nebraska does not help. That Nebraska loss did not help. I think that they played them way off that line. So yeah, I'd punt. Michigan State would definitely win at that point. Ohio State, Purdue. Ohio State, I was very high on preseason. They have very much disappointed me. They've had some good wins, but they have very much disappointed me, and they have not looked good down the stretch. Purdue, on the other hand, same kind of deal. They haven't looked great. They kind of beat IU by the skin of their teeth in Mackey. I mean, give me Purdue, I guess, just if you're just taking the better team. Yeah. And then we got a semifinal of Illinois, Iowa, Michigan State, Purdue, which is weird. I'm not going to lie. We can stop it here in the semifinals and then just kind of make our pick our winner after that. Give me Iowa. I think they have the best player left in this tournament, and I think that helps a lot. And I think the Big Ten is never chalk. So give me Iowa.
True. I think that.
Plus, they almost beat Illinois like a couple nights ago. They probably should have.
Should have.
So, yeah.
the value play is definitely Iowa. If you're going to go gamble on this, any
Mm-hmm.
listeners going to go, put in a future bet, I'm going to pick Illinois because I think Iowa was, they probably should have won, but Illinois was kind of just letting them hang around. And I feel like they could have put them away a while before the game ended. I think Illinois is definitely the best team. I think those two are the teams that can kind of shut down this narrative that the Big Ten can't get a Final Four team or an Elite Eight team.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
They're the two.
Yeah.
And I can't believe I'm even saying that about a Fran McCaffrey team because I hate him. And I don't like Brad Underwood either.
Is it weird to say that Keegan Murray is more valuable in the tournament than Luka Garza was? Is that a weird thing to say? I'm not saying he's better. But Luka Garza was very easy to plan for.
I think this team is more. Yes, I think this team is more of a complete team.
Yeah, and I'm gonna get hate for that because Luka Garza was the best player in the country, and I'm saying right now he's better than Keegan Murray.
Perkins for Iowa is huge for them.
Mm-hmm.
He's only a sophomore.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he had
he's out of Indianapolis. He went to Lawrence Central. Yeah,
he had 15, 10, and 5. Was dominating them on the boards, which is really weird to see against Illinois. Yeah. But Illinois is not healthy either. They don't have Grandison right now, and he is very important for them. So it'd be kind of interesting to see if he plays in this Big Ten tournament. But either way, I think Illinois wins.
Yeah, I like Illinois. We can just do that, get to the semifinals, and then kind of predict from there. All right, let's move on to the SEC tournament. Before we get any further, are we saying there's going to be a different semifinal than the top four? No, because I think the top four is head and shoulders above the rest of the conference, unless there's some sort of crazy upset. I don't see it happening. One upset I would, for my bettors out there, I would look out for is shout out Georgia, just fired Tom Crean today. It's a celebration over there. I feel bad for him, but kind of moving on. Vandy, Alabama. I think Vandy can beat Alabama just because of how volatile Alabama is. I don't know if it will happen, but either way, I think the semifinal will be Auburn versus Arkansas, Tennessee versus Kentucky.
I agree.
I'm going to pick Kentucky. I think they're the best team in this conference. The only thing that's stopping me from saying it's 100% done is I think this team is kind of walked in on the tournament. And Kentucky teams have done this before. They just haven't won the SEC because they're walked in on the tournament. Anthony Davis's team lost to Vandy in the tournament, by the way. Just weird stuff like that. I think Arkansas is my next pick after that. But
really? Mm-hmm. See, I'm going out. I think the value, and I don't know what the odds are because I'm guessing Kentucky's the favorite.
Either Auburn. Yeah, Kentucky's the odds-on favorite, I believe. Yeah.
I think the value is Tennessee. I think they're the hottest team right now. I think they just beat Arkansas, other than Kentucky, obviously, but they most recently they beat Kentucky. I think they're probably the hottest team. I think they're playing their best basketball of the season. They're not going to be at home. Where's this tournament? Tampa. Which it was in Nashville last year, right?
It's usually always in Nashville. Sometimes they switch it up. They'll throw it to different places.
It was in Nashville, Tennessee all the way, home, basically a home game for them. But yeah. I think the values with them, like I said, with Iowa, but I'm going with Kentucky as well. Sorry. I think Tennessee I think it's going to be one of those two because they're going to play each other, correct?
Yeah, they'll play each other.
I think the winner of that one wins it. I think Kentucky is the better team. But again, if you're going to put a future bet, I wouldn't put it on the favorite because you're not going to money. So I would put it on Tennessee. Yeah.
There's nothing there.
Let me ask you real quick. Who's the second best player in the SEC?
After Seaboy?
After Oscar, who's the second best player?
It's one of the Auburn boys. Ooh, wait. I might pick JD Note. Coming down the stretch, the way he's been playing, I might pick him, but it's probably Jabari Smith or Walker Kessler. Okay,
so it's weird because
I gave you three names.
No. I agree, and I kind of forgot about the Auburn guys, but you brought up Vandy. Scottie
Yeah,
Pippen
no,
Jr. Is he a top 2-3 player in the SEC? I'm just curious.
no, but he's like right there. Like
Okay.
he'll probably be SEC first team.
If he's
Uh,
on Alabama,
oh my God, they're so much
is he
better. They're
considered
so
a
much
top 3
better.
player?
Yeah, I think
Okay.
it doesn't help that his volume is so high.
Yeah.
That doesn't help him whatsoever. And he has bad turnover problem. It's not even a problem though. It's just like he is relying on
Nobody.
him. Like I'm gonna make this comparison. It's gonna be stupid. And I know this is gonna be a long episode. Whatever. I know it's stupid. Remember Jonathan Taylor's concerns out of college were that he fumbles the ball. That's because he carried the ball 40 times a game. That's kind of the same deal with Scottie Pippen Jr. I think he's awesome. I hope he transfers because
Credit.
he's
I was
really
gonna say
good.
credit. He's probably going to get drafted this year. No, I don't know what the mocks look like.
Maybe. Yeah, I haven't seen the
Credit
mocks
to him
either.
for staying. He should transfer.
Yeah,
He absolutely should.
He could trade. Like Kentucky was like on the phone. Like they're going
to be calling this year.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Not to bring up the Sky Clark stuff, but they'll be calling him.
We can talk about that at the end. I mean, it's fine. Like it sucks that we lost him because he was such a he was basically on the team before he was because he was so involved.
Basically, did Cal's job for him.
A lot of the time, yeah.
Because he recruited that he recruited that class. Like
he was popular. He was so popular in high school, and he kind of fell off a cliff a little bit because his injury. God forbid. Like I'm sorry, not even his ranking, just like his national coverage definitely fell off a cliff. I'm not worried from a basketball standpoint at all, just because Nolan Hickman. Like I was worried about Nolan Hickman when it happened, but I'm not gonna get.
I will say this though. Basically, Kentucky, and I think that's what's going to happen. They're just going to go to the portal. It's not always a guarantee, like we've said. I know they hit
Severe's coming back. I think that's coming back. That's why Sky. I think that's why he decommitted because there was a lot of buzz that Severe's coming back. Yeah. So I mean, there's a ceiling with Severe, but I think I like Severe's ceiling a lot. I think he.
Oh yeah, if Severe's coming back, then whatever.
Yeah. But yeah, kind of moving on. ACC. This one's funny. This one's very funny. Look, the pick, like the obvious odds-on favorite is Duke. I don't think anybody's disagreeing with that. I mean, they play the winner of Florida State and Syracuse, which are both terrible teams. And then they'll play the winner of Wake Forest, Miami. Like, this is terrible. I think if I had to give you a value pick, I'm going to give. I don't want to give like a pick that definitely can't win, but I'm looking at one that maybe has a chance, maybe can make a run because they were kind of high preseason. Virginia Tech. I mean, they have one of the best players, and it's gross. It's gross, but everybody's gross. What, you want me to say Notre Dame?
Yes, I do.
You'd rather me say, then I'll say Notre Dame. Okay, Blake Wesley, NBA prospect. He's going to be a first-round draft pick. I'll go in.
Wake, I think, are two.
Yeah, Wandus Williams is awesome. Yeah.
Two teams that can do it, but the ACC sucks, man.
This sucks.
I mean, really, if you want to do it, North Carolina's plus 650. I'm looking at the odds now. I mean, I
was trying to give like a heavy dog for Virginia Tech. Like I was just kind of looking at it.
They're plus 1,300.
Yeah.
I think Miami. I mean, look, just throwing darts at the wall. Like, just pick one of those teams, see if it happens. Just don't pick Duke.
Is Duke in minus odds?
Yeah. Minus 125.
That's insane. That's insane for a tournament. Absolutely insane. But I mean, whatever. I mean, it would be very funny if Duke lost in the ACC tournament.
I don't even want to go through that bracket.
No, like I'm done. Like I just X'd off it. Like I just wanted to do it, and that was record time. I think we did that for less than a minute, and I really hope we did. Anyways, on to the Big 12. By the way, great conference. They kind of took a turn for the worse at the end of the year, no? Like they kind of disappeared off the face of the earth a little bit. But I mean, now we're here. Kansas is a 1 seed. Again, when is Kansas not the 1 seed? whatever. I kind of look.
Who do you think the favorite is?
I would guess Baylor.
Yeah,
I would guess. Like they play Oklahoma. Kansas plays the winner of Kansas State, West Virginia. Texas plays TCU. Texas Tech plays Iowa State. My favorite team in the tournament this year for the Big 12 is Texas Tech. I think they're going to go farther than anybody else in the tournament.
Go back to the debate episode from last week when I was debating Texas Tech, by the way. Got great material for Sam trying to contradict himself on Texas Tech.
I'm always getting caught lying. I'm always getting caught lying in the debates, and it sucks because there's so much evidence of me saying the opposite of what I said. But I love Texas Tech in the NCAA tournament. I don't love them in this one. I don't know why. Like, it's just kind of, I think they're kind of zoned in on the NCAA tournament as well. And this tournament always kind of gets weird. If I give you a betting pick, like somebody with fantastic odds, I would go with TCU. I don't know if you have the odds pulled up.
Plus 1,600.
Plus 16. That's great odds. It's fantastic odds for a team that just beat Kansas almost twice. Just beat Texas Tech. Yeah, they just beat Texas Tech too. And I like them a lot. Mike Miles is a absolute stud. So that's kind of my sleeper pick. If I had to actually sit here and tell you who's going to win it, Baylor, I guess. Like I think Baylor's better than Kansas. The West are two evils. But yeah, I just don't see Texas Tech winning it right now. So
yeah, it is Iowa State solidly in the tournament, right?
They were. I don't know if they still are. I can look it up real quick.
I think they are, but it's weird on the bracket for the big. Yeah, I mean they're 9 seed. Oklahoma has better odds than Iowa State to win the Big 12 conference tournament, which I think is weird.
Yeah.
They're another one. I mean, value play, they're plus 1,900. So, and it's not like Iowa State's a bad team. They're bottom 3 though on the odds, which is just kind of crazy to me.
They can beat Texas Tech. Like I'm saying like that.
Oh yeah.
That's what I was kind of saying. Like that is kind of my dog pick for this.
Yeah. But like you said, I think Baylor's probably built the best to win it. I just don't think I think
so many injuries. So many injuries, man. It's hard.
I don't know. I don't think Texas Tech wins it. I think they probably save their run for the tournament. So
yeah.
And I don't want to pick Kansas. I don't think Kansas is in the right state of mind right now. But maybe this is the get right like stretch for them before the tournament. But even then, it's like, do you really benefit from winning the conference tournament? I feel like Bill Self, he's kind of the vet coach of this conference, and
he kind of punts on the conference tournament a lot.
You really, especially because I don't know if the Big 12's last game is on Sunday, like the Big 10 or the SEC's, but I mean,
the final is on Saturday, March 12th.
Because that's not as bad. But again, it's like you're playing all week just to go to the tournament the next week. And like, I mean, it's just a hard thing to do. It almost is like more beneficial to get that rest.
Yeah.
But they are playing for a 1 seed, correct?
Yes, they are. Here's how it is kind of shaken out. And I should have said it during the SEC. There's 4 teams playing for the last 2 1 seeds. 2 Big 12, 2 SEC. It's Baylor, Kansas, Kentucky, and Auburn. And I'm thinking, I guess, whoever outperforms the other in the conference tournaments, there will be 1 Big 12, 1 SEC. So if Kentucky gets farther than Auburn, then I think Kentucky jumps Auburn. If Kansas goes farther than Baylor, then Kansas jumps Baylor. So I think there is something to play for. Which again, then you get into the semantics of, well, does it really matter if you're 1 compared to a 2? Which I think it's a little bit different, but
yeah, it'd be interesting. I mean, I don't know. I think Cal is more of a competitor than Bill Self is. So I think Cal will play for it. Bill Self, I don't think cares.
Well, Cal is he's looking for heads with with the BS that he's dealt with this regular season, with having to play all three of those teams on the road. Like, I don't think he liked that at all. I don't think he liked that one bit in only hosting one of them. So now that he gets the chance to play at least Tennessee, and I'm assuming, I guess the winner of Arkansas Auburn, I think he's going to want to prove that he can and would have beat them had they not had to play on their site. So it'll be interesting. I'm excited to watch that kind of unfold. Big East, maybe the most interesting. We talk about this last one that I'm going to get to is kind of the most open, in my opinion, but the Big East, I mean, come on. This looks awesome. You see, like, Providence is the 1 seed. They play the winner, Xavier Butler. And then there's Creighton Marquette, 2 teams that are solidly in. Villanova plays the winner, St. John's DePaul. And then UConn plays the winner, Seton Hall, Georgetown. I think UConn, love them more than any of these teams in the NCAA tournament. Love UConn this year. I think they're a Final Four sleeper. I'll give a couple Final Four sleepers when the bracket comes out, because I do want to see what region everybody gets in. But I'm telling you right now, UConn will be on that list. Providence, they can get lucky. I mean, I think the luck is gonna run out by the NCAA, but they probably still have a little bit left in the tank here. I don't know if you have the odds pulled up.
I do.
Well, let's hear.
It pulled up for the Big Ten. Villanova's the favorite.
Yeah,
and then it's Connecticut, Providence. I think Creighton's good value. They're at plus 1,400.
Creighton's
playing
great value.
really, really well. I think Seton Hall is another one. I don't like that UConn has to play Seton Hall as their second game.
Seton Hall's got some hoopers. They have some hoopers, man.
I think Villanova, you said, plays either St. John's or DePaul.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's a better route, I think.
St. John's, they're not good, but whenever you have a guy like Chimpini, like Posh Alexander, and that'll be interesting because them and Villanova play almost completely different. Villanova and St. John's. So I think this tournament's kind of made for Villanova. As like we can give some value picks.
I think the value's Creighton.
Yeah, it's either Creighton or Seton Hall. I like Seton Hall a lot. I think they have a chance in the tournament to make some noise. But Creighton has been awesome. Nimhard, their freshman, incredible. Yeah. Like I like Creighton a lot. And I think they kind of got overshadowed because the past couple of years they've been like high seeds. Like they've been very, very good. And they're not as good this year. And they disappointed in the tournament last year. Obviously they met Gonzaga, which was whatever. But they're just not the same team as they were last year. So I think they're kind of scary in this like weird purgatory of being scary. So I kind of like them.
Yeah. Not to circle back to the Big Ten. Who do you think the favorite in the Big Ten is?
Purdue.
Nice.
Yeah. I'm pretty good at this. I like that.
Can you name the top? Name 2, 3, 4 then.
2, 3, 4. Okay, so Purdue's 1. I don't know if it's accounting for Johnny Davis's injury. Purdue 1, Illinois 2. I'm trying to think. Wisconsin 3. Really?
Iowa 3, Wisconsin.
Iowa 3, Wisconsin 4. See, I knew it was one of those two.
Wisconsin's plus 800. Johnny Davis.
If he plays, that's really good value. If Johnny Davis, if it's announced that Johnny Davis is playing and it's still like that, I would jump all over those odds.
Series value, Indiana plus 2,500. Just put 5 on it. I actually would not do that. I would hedge every single Indiana opponent before I do that.
I would look at the route and put it all on like the features. Yeah. Pac-12. like I keep saying it's the most open, which is weird for me to say because I mean, there's one huge, mighty, big time favorite in Arizona. But you're crazy if you think Arizona's playing for anything. They're already locked in as a 1 seed. They're the number 2 team in the country. They're not moving, and it's apparent. They lost to Colorado at Colorado, and they didn't move a single bit. They didn't. So I don't think Arizona's playing for anything. The one team the hungriest the most in this tournament is Oregon. Oregon is the same mold that I told you at the beginning of the year, not the beginning of the year, maybe the beginning of the calendar year. Same mold. You got your Arkansas, fall out of the top 25, back in, scary. You got your Memphis, fall out of the top 25 early, come back and look. Now they're looking scary. Now you got your Oregon, who started off as I believe 12th in the nation preseason. Now they're next 4 out, first 4 out, next 4 out, one of the two.
They're not even on the next 4 out.
Yeah, so they're hungry. They're starving. They need to win this Pac-12 tournament, or else they're not going to be in the tournament. That's just how they are in need. If you remember last year, Oregon State was the story. They got the automatic qualifier because they won the Pac-12. I think it's going to be Oregon. I've been all over this take. I think they can, and I think they will win it with wins against UCLA. They've swept UCLA. They split with USC, and they took Arizona to the final buzzer at Tucson. I think them playing Colorado kind of sucks because Colorado is pretty hungry too. Like Colorado is a team that everybody thought would be in, and now they're not. They're not. So I'm interested to see the Pac-12 tournament. There's going to be a lot of teams thinking they can win, playing their ass off. It'll be fun. And this might be one of the more fun ones to watch just because of how these teams think they can win and how they need to win to get into the tournament. So that's kind of my opinion. What about you?
I don't think Oregon's going to win it.
Okay.
Will Richardson isn't healthy. Not sure if he's going to play or not. Missed their last game. They just lost by 20 to Washington State, who's not good.
Telling you, they're starving. They're starving.
I mean, I get it. I think there's also they might be to the point where they might be playing the worst basketball of the season.
Yeah,
like you lose to Washington and Washington State. I mean, that's really bad.
It's bad. I'm dead. I look, whatever you're gonna say about the resume, I agree. But I'm saying
if they don't have Will Richardson, they can't win.
No,
they can't win it.
That's true. Yes,
they are the value play though. They are Arizona's I think among Power 5, they're the only other team other than Duke to be favored to win their tournament.
Yeah,
but Oregon is plus 1,100. I think that's pretty good, but I don't see it. They're more flawed than I think these other teams that are in the discussion, and I think they're more flawed.
They're flawed as flawed can be. I'm not saying they're not. I'm saying that they're hungry and their ceiling is pretty high for a team in that range. When you sweep UCLA, it's pretty impressive. I got
a better one for you though. Give me Washington State. They've won 4 of the last 5. Okay. They're 18-13, which I'm fairly certain is an identical record to Oregon State last season, who surprised everybody and won it and stole the bid.
They had Ethan Thompson.
I think that would be absolutely terrible for Indiana fans and me included. But give me Washington State to make a run. But other than that, I think
it could be Arizona
runs through it. I think Arizona runs through it. Or maybe UCLA, but it's those two.
I'm just saying, Arizona, they have nothing to play for. Like I'm just like
They're
nothing.
just so much better than everybody.
Definitely.
I don't think they'll have to try. Like, I think they're just gonna sleepwalk through this thing until maybe the final. I mean, the 4 seed they have to play in the 4-5 is Oregon or Colorado. They could beat that team by 20 and not even try.
That's fair. I mean, that's fair. Arizona is very good. I make fun of a lot of teams on the one line that they're not as good as the record says they are. I think Gonzaga is far worse than they were last year. I'm just going to say that right now. I think I'm not ready to put the fraud tag on them. Like they play at St. Mary's tonight, correct? That it doesn't skip a night.
By the way,
tonight.
Santa Clara scared me. Did end up going to bed last night at about 1-ish, and they were down about 13. I was like, all right, we're in the clear. Santa Clara is not going to steal a bid. Woke up, they only lost by 3, so that would have been a very stressful end to the game. And they had a chance to win. They had a chance to send to overtime.
Hand up. May have given out a betting pick last night. St. Mary's -5.
Wow.
Yeah.
That hurts.
And I went to bed thinking, we're good. We're good. I turned it off. I turned the game off.
Yeah.
About the same time that you did. And I woke up to 3. So
Unfortunate.
I don't think I'm going to be giving away many more betting picks after that. But I hope St. Mary's wins. I just do. Like there's so many flaws with this Gonzaga team that has not been exposed yet. They have no guard play. They just don't. And they rely on their big men. They rely on Chet, who's going to get bullied in the tournament.
Wow.
He will, I promise you. And I think it might happen early because there's some teams with some pretty not tall, but wider guys that I think could present some major problems for Chet in particular.
But Chet plays the 4, though, doesn't he? Or does he play the 5 for them?
Yeah. But
just a hypothetical. If they play Kentucky, who is checking Chet for Kentucky?
Toppin. You hate on Toppin, first of all. Toppin is a fantastic perimeter defender. And he's a fantastic interior defender as well. He's a fantastic defender all in all. You hate on Toppin.
Look, he hasn't had to check.
He guarded Paulo, and he shut him down. Keon was the one getting destroyed by Paulo, and then Toppin subbed in, and he went missing.
Chet's 7 foot.
You see, yeah, he is. He's also skin and bones.
We'll see. I think Gonzaga, it's interesting. I don't think they're to that point. Like I said, it with some teams, they're a 1 seed and like D1, like they're the 1 seed.
Are you about to say they're underrated?
Nobody's going to have them in the Final 4.
They're plus 350 to win the championship.
Oh, I know. But everybody's going to fill out their bracket and they're going to be like, I don't really think Gonzaga is that good this year. Like you just said.
They're far worse than they were last year.
Maybe so, but so is the competition. There's no Baylor. There's no Baylor that really. You think there's a team as good as Baylor was last year this year?
No. But I think the teams other than those two, the country as a whole, superior than it was last year. There was a reason Gonzaga and Baylor were head and shoulders above everybody else, not just because they were
great. Better than everybody. They were significantly better. You had Arkansas and Alabama last year, who are worse this year. Arkansas last year and Alabama were dangerous.
I think. You think Arkansas is better?
They were.
You think they were better last year?
Yeah, I think they had more talent last year.
I don't know about that.
They're a one-man train this year. 1.5.
That's just because JD Note has just been
Who's better, JD Note or
fire.
Moses Moody?
JD Pro prospect Moses Moody for sure. College JD Note.
Okay. That's a tough question.
Yeah, like because look, Moses Moody was fine. Like he was good in college, but like
fine.
Much better NBA prospect. Much better.
Okay.
Just say.
It's fair.
NBA guy, yeah, residential NBA guy. Just a quick sidebar. Is Moses Moody doing anything? Has he played?
Where he just got an opportunity to play. He's on the Warriors.
Okay.
He just got an opportunity to play last night. They played out in Denver. Actually, I was talking about it with Bryson because your Pacers took Duarte instead of him, and he and Jordan Poole combined for 62 points at Denver last night. They lost, but Moody got his first opportunity to start and had 30 points.
That's cool. That's very cool. Shout out Pacers. Tyrese Halliburton, Iowa State legend. All right. That's the show. We can talk about Sky Clark for a second. Yeah, I kind of said it earlier. It's kind of Nolan Hickman 2.0 in my eyes. I think we're fine. If anything, I don't know if this is what it means, but if anything, kind of sounds like Shaedon Sharpe, maybe, because
I don't understand that comparison.
You don't understand that?
I don't get that.
I think because Kentucky's backcourt, look, he's running away from a backcourt that's going to be loaded, that he would just not have the opportunity.
I get the severe thing.
Definitely severe, but definitely severe.
Shaedon Sharpe is like a 2-3. I just don't really. I don't get.
I'm just saying the backcourt in general, because Sky Clark, he's going to have to play off the ball. If he was at Kentucky, he was going to have to play off the ball. Yeah, but if Shaedon Sharpe is there, that definitely takes some opportunities away. We have,
I guess, but
1,000 wings too.
I think. I mean, if Sky Clark was there next year and Severe leaves, you're starting Sky Clark, Cason Wallace, and Shaedon Sharpe, correct?
Not if Severe's there.
I said if he leaves.
Oh, I thought you said if Sky Clark comes, then I thought you were saying cause and effect, and I was like, that would not affect. No. It depends, because I think they're going to want to play CJ Frederick. Not at the point guard spot, but Cason Wallace probably because I think they want to have that element of shooting in their starting lineup. I think that's why Kellen Grady starts.
It's fair.
Yeah.
They're going to have, Frederick is a guy that everybody forgets.
Everybody's going to, you can't forget about Toppin. It's going to be, can't forget about Frederick, coming into next year. I'm excited.
I'd like Kentucky a lot more if they had him this year. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate they don't. They would be my pick far and away if they had CJ Frederick.
There was reports earlier in the season that there was a chance he comes back, he's going to be back this year. I think that kind of fell through, and I don't think you're going to introduce somebody into the lineup at this point, obviously, even if he was ready, because that would do nothing but hurt. But I'm saying a lineup next year of, Severe, Frederick, Sharpe, Livingston, Shibwe, and Wallace off the bench. Toppin off the bench.
Keon's probably back too.
I don't see. I don't know.
Is he a junior or senior?
I mean, he is a junior. But it kind of feels like, I don't know. And I don't. It's so weird for me to just assume people will be back the next year. That's as it can. I just don't ever do that. It just kind of feels like it's his last year here. If he transfers, maybe something like that. But then you got Bryce Hopkins, who's I think going to take a step forward next year.
I think he leaves, man. I don't like
talking
about this.
No, maybe. I mean, yeah.
Where's he going to play next year?
It is a weird thing to talk about because you're kind of just assuming Hopkins is going to have to find whether he's more comfortable as a wing or as a 4. And I think Cal loves Bryce Hopkins. Cal will give him the opportunity like whenever. Like he's going to have a game in the tournament where he is the reason we win. He's going to be one of those guys.
It's very interesting. Cal's really been pumping those guys up this year. Damian Collins is another one.
Yeah.
He's totally trying to pump them up so they don't leave. Because if Oscar comes back,
because you got to recruit your own guys back. You got to recruit
both of those
guys
should
back.
leave.
I think Collins more than Hopkins should leave. If one of them was going to leave, I think it would be.
Yeah.
But then again, I don't know. Collins, it's so hard to do this, like because it's so hard. I don't know. Hopkins has to improve. Hopkins probably has to improve more than Collins does. But with the way the transfer portal works, I'm assuming Kentucky gets a big, at least a 4 in the portal. I felt like they were going to get a guard, but we're going to be so backcourt heavy if Shaden Sharp comes back that I don't know.
Which he won't. And then this whole thing is
okay.
This whole thing's out the window. Real quick, bubble talk, real quick. I've been doing these segments kind of on Twitter, and there's no more of that probably. I can do it for some of the games, but there's too many games now at this point because of all the potential bid stealing going on.
He said there's no more of that.
But it's too hard. To rely on that is crazy to do because there's going to be a bid stealer at some point.
Mm-hmm.
Just a matter of time, and Indiana just needs to win.
Well, I would pump the brakes on that talk just a little bit because there was 2 last year, and it's usually not that common.
There's going to be at least 1.
Sure.
But even then,
Indiana, and I think there already was 1 with Loyola. Wait, no, I guess.
No.
UNI's not getting in. UNI's not getting. Okay. Yeah. Then never mind.
Either way, they have to win. They can't lose again and somehow get it's just not going to happen because SMU at worst is going to probably get, I think, a quad 2 loss. And if Indiana loses, I don't know how they would pass them somehow if both teams lose. And it just doesn't seem like it's going to happen. I don't know, man. They just got to win. If they don't win, they're not going to make it. Go to the NIT tournament. Indiana's going to host.
I'm not going to the NIT. There's not. You couldn't pay me enough money.
Could sit courtside for $10 probably.
They'd have to pay me to go to the NIT.
Hey, I will say though, the NIT is going to have some good teams in it because there's going to be some good tournament teams that don't make it.
That's true.
If you look at, BYU is a good team. Yeah, okay, never mind. All these teams suck. Tried to pump it up a little bit. Just isn't gonna happen. I'm looking at Virginia, Texas A&M. It's not gonna happen. They all suck.
That may have been the funniest thing you try to pump up the NIT. We should do that every episode.
Oh, yeah. What are you gonna do?
Well, all right. That's enough of us. Connor, thanks for joining me. Look, I'm trying to calculate this. I think we have one. No, we're going to have to do. I'm sorry. We're going to have to do an off-schedule episode for Selection Sunday.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay. And so we have one more episode before the March Madness team plays on the pod. And we get going. It's unbelievable. We have one more episode and we're going to be talking about tournaments, everything. I think, thankfully, whatever, we might push it. Thinking about pushing it back a day because Thursday, when we usually record, or no, I guess we do Friday. So Friday, when we usually record, is when the teams are going to start playing that really kind of matter. and like start playing the real games. And so
I think we should just do it as Sunday.
you just want to push it back all the way
I
to
think we should
Sunday.
just push it all the way to Sunday. Plus, not
That
saying
makes
it's going
sense.
to
We can do
happen.
spaces. We can do spaces.
Indiana wins Thursday. They're going to be playing on Friday. I'm going to want to go.
Mhm.
Tickets are dropping for that already. So Friday is going to be weird. We should just do it Sunday.
Yeah, no, I agree. We can do spaces too. If you're on your drive back, we can just hop on and do a quick spaces. We don't need any guests, but we can have it recorded and throw it out onto the podcast feed. But if people want to join us, more than welcome. I'm just saying we probably won't have like a Martha or anybody like that. It'll just be us two talking. But yeah, Connor, thanks for joining me. Thank you guys for listening. Again, like, subscribe on YouTube if you're on YouTube. Leave 5 stars if you're on Apple Podcast. I need to start hitting the Spotify market more, but either
Follow
way,
the Twitter account too. So you don't miss those spaces.
Yeah, follow the Twitter account. We'll be doing some spaces. But yeah, Connor, thank you for joining me. Everybody, love you guys.